For the day card for today, we have drawn the Five of Swords. Interestingly enough, the card we were focusing on earlier in the other reading was the Five of Cups. So while not identical, it does refer to a similar phase in our intellectual development as the earlier reason did to the phase of our relationship development. So these may actually relate. You may want to take a look at the other video that was posted earlier today. These may actually give each other just a little bit of context. But as this one stands alone, we may find some things of interest as well. And we should. The intellectual side of ourselves gets tricky. We grow as we should, but it gets easy to get into a resting state, into one where we may feel like we've accomplished what we'll accomplish, and because we've made some progress, we can stop. Now, to me, the 4 represents that phase, but we've drawn the 5. The 5 represents getting out of that phase, realizing that we have more to worry about, more to do than what we've already accomplished. And the fact that we've already accomplished something, great, good thing. But we have more to do. I think of it as the 4, while a good phase to have gotten to, sort of provides a little cloud cover. It might even act to block some of the further progress that we can make. It may act to obstruct our view of the need to do that, because on our way to the 5, we've probably endured and encountered some less than pleasant things, right? We've probably felt some pain. Our minds will try to shelter us from those kinds of things. In fact, if you look at the 4, while it does have a burst of light, those colors in the background look sort of opaque, don't they? Not easy to see through. In the 5, we've added some awareness, we've added some recognition of our continued potential, and we've been given the ability to cut through that cloud cover that, again, while we don't show clouds here exactly, we definitely show some thick colors, difficult to get through, difficult to see through. Now with the 5, again, we cut through them and we begin to see clearly what? A pentagram. A representation of the self. A representation of the self in the universe, acting of its own accord, with its own objectives in mind. Getting here, as we can see, has been interesting. It sometimes has not been pleasant. Oftentimes growth comes with pain. We call them growth pains for a reason, right? Growing pains. But staying in a position of obstructed view, an obstructed mind, sounds painful as well. Moving forward beyond our natural abilities into things greater while uncomfortable, result in a greater clarity of view of ourselves and different parts of ourselves, and moves us into the ability to apply those realizations and understandings in greater, more far-reaching contexts. So, if you wish to continue progressing, advancing, and transforming yourself, a very necessary phase to go through. I don't know if in your case this card represents an awakening that has already happened, you've already got underway or will soon get underway, or if this awakening to the need to do this has taken place just now or will shortly. But remember the phases that you've been through. This applies whether this has already taken place or will shortly, because remembering the processes that you've already gone through to get to this point will help you to see and realize that you can do it again. The things and challenges and difficulties and those things that we encounter will vary a lot in, their vocabulary, their symbolic vocabulary. But the process used to get through them and on to the next phase doesn't change a whole lot. And the developments that you've been through to get to this phase in the intellectual sphere may not apply just to the intellectual sphere. You may have something in your creative sphere or your relationship aspect. We can learn from one part of our life, from one quadrant, and apply what we've learned to the other quadrants. So, if this process doesn't exactly apply, to the intellect, or you can think of a better, more clear and pronounced version of these events that you have been through in, say, a relationship context, try and apply that to this context, because a relationship with another person, for instance, can teach us a lot about a relationship with ourself, a big part of the intellectual sphere of our lives. So, learn to interact with the different parts of yourself, the different parts of your story and history. That will help immensely as you begin to move forward in the intellectual sphere that we see here today. I believe for one card we've covered quite a bit already, so I will not go further with this right now today. Please do subscribe so you get updates when this gets updated several times a week, the YouTube channel. And also, feel free and encouraged to follow me on the social media platforms that you see listed in the description. Those do get updated on a vastly more regular basis than the YouTube channel. And, as always, please leave comments, thoughts, suggestions, and your own ideas about the interpretation. Beautiful thing about tarot cards, interpretations can vary. Definitely not a set-in-stone interpretation here. If this applies otherwise in your life, let me know. I'd find it interesting, and I love discussion. Until next time, enjoy your day, ponder on this periodically, and please keep on transforming, folks.